Hello, I hope you're doing good. I'm going to share a very important principle which we can learn on the fly. You see that many of the things which are given to you have most value, but then when it comes to your hands or your head or your heart, it's very much important that we understand the ununderstood and we see the unseen. So I have a piece of paper over here which I'm going to explain. So this is a funnel. And when you have this funnel, what's most important is that we categorize this into two parts. One is the seen thing, which we all can see, and the much larger volume of the work which is shown to you is unseen. So this is what you don't see, and there is where people actually work for you. So if you have your family, your relationships, your business, your service going on, and you have this portion where is less than, let's say for example, 10%, where you see things and you witness things and you sense things, but most of it is unseen and unknown. So what I want to tell you, what I want to share you is, this is the most important part which is getting funneled and filtered, and then you can see all these things over here. So this is most important, but it never can come without having this done. So this is the processing logic. This is how people think they should treat you, and then they treat you. So this is the final outcome, but we focus more on it, but you should also focus on how it's coming to you. Let's say for example, why people behave the way they behave with you, why not with other people. And let's consider different examples to understand this theory. So the major upper part of the funnel is the thing which is, you think before doing anything, you think before talking, you think before communicating anything with other people. That's what goes in your mind as true as it goes on in other people's minds. So we have to appreciate and respect the unseen, the invisible, because that's very, very important. And then when it comes through that filter, it's all pure, it's all good, it's all social, it's acceptable. But then what it had to go through is a far more complex algorithm in a software, or it's thinking basically in the human mind. And it's very important that we understand each other in that upper larger portion of life. So let's take the example of money. If you see someone's stocks are gaining more profits in the bulls and the bear market, then you can analyze that, and you can produce the results for yourself, hopefully. But if you see at someone's stocks barely, as they're just making good amount of money, you can have a deceived perception of what's going wrong or what's going right. So it's very important that you take care of that upper larger portion of understanding, of that knowledge, that wisdom, which how things work is very, very important. Because if you are in bliss, you're in ignorance, and that might be as true. So it's very important that we focus on how things work, how people work, how the shares work, how money works. If it's compounding, if it's interesting, then what are the reasons why it's going through that phase? It's not you, it's about the system in which you invest. So the investments can be relations of your life, or it can be shares or stocks, or in any industry, if you're working, you have a boss who's dominating you. But then it's very important for you to understand what goes through that person, so that he is actually behaving like that with you. Or if you have parents who are forcing you to do something, and it's very important that you understand their culture and tradition and how they think. It's not about anything which you have to do, it's everything about what they have to do, what they have to understand about the worldview or the life view. So the perception matters over there. So you talk about money, it plays a major role, because the top upper part of the funnel plays a very important role in investors' life. If you're an agent or a stockbroker, you know how important it is to analyze and study all the information which is a history of companies or industries which you've been associating with and selling stocks and recommending those to other people. By the way, when you push a certain stock or a share to your clients or customers, you know that you may be sincere or you may be sincerely wrong, and it plays a different game. So part of the funnel, you want to be the upper side first and then the lower bottom, because that is what is going to help you reach the upper side of life. Never ever focus on getting the results first, because that's hardly the game. The game really is about being the part of the upper side of the funnel and understanding how things work, how things are managed, how things are maintained, and then it can be multiplied. So on this region where you are going to focus on the maximum results, how they come, you will have a persistent vision for yourself and for your family or your friends. And that is what is most important. What is really important for your growth is the growth of the psychology of your mind, how you select few things, and how you have a predefined blueprint in your mind which will help you to go through all the areas of your life in such a way that you cross all those barriers. And those barriers can be financial barriers, those can be relationships, as I said, it can be money or it can be your life. All these areas are majorly controlled by things which you do, how you react and how you filter out those things. So never be first the part of the the bottom layer of the funnel. Always be part first of the upper layer. It's more tough, it's a jungle, I know it's mess, and it's needed. But that's the important word, it's needed. If you don't go through that, you will never ever understand, and you will misunderstand, you will blame yourself, you will misunderstand other people, you will conceptually, you practically fool yourself, because you have this understanding that this is how it comes, but then you have a totally wrong understanding. So it's very important to gather yourself, collect yourself, focus on how things happen, how people behave, work on that, confirm on that, and then take action, then take communication in the picture, then take real thinking into the picture. So the narrow pipe, which is the funnel's mouth, that's completely an output, that is success, and that is sometimes useless because you have it for time being. What is majorly important and what plays a major role in your life is the upper part, which is more than 90% of how things work. And if you imagine, if you can control the upper side of the funnel, how things work, the output becomes obvious. So you can carry pennies or dollars, and you can convert that into multiples of 5 or 10 times, and that's very simple. But all you have to be a part of is constantly balancing and constantly compensating with the small adjustments of how to not face risks, or facing risks in a calculated way, so that you don't have to lose your money or your relations. I hope that works. The funnel thing is very, very important. I want to emphasize on it again, that focus on being a part of the upper side first, and then the bottom will follow. Thank you.